Okay, welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 288. We're here reviewing the last three episodes for Ninja Sentai Kakuranger. Yep, 51, 53. Before I get started to talk about these episodes, these three episodes particularly, well, 53 is noteworthy for being one of, but it's also the third ever series to reach this particular number, and is the last one to reach this number. Yep. And there are two Sentai left that go beyond episode 50. One will be the very next series. I know we'll be talking about for quite some time now. I'll discuss basically the next one after I talk about the episode. So 51, 53, 51, 52 feel like a two-parter, and like 53 feels like just the end of the series. So Namaru's sister basically wants revenge against the Kakurangers for killing her other brother that she had in the previous episode. So yeah, she gets powered up, and then of course, and the big plot of this episode, in the case this one, we have where Kaku White's father goes on a rampage in his statue form. Wait, you're thinking, really? In statue form, he's going on a rampage. Yeah, he's still a statue. He's been a statue since like episode 44. Goes on a rampage, and he's like, hey, you know this woman right here? That's her father going on a rampage. Why don't you attack her? And they reveal in these two episodes that the cloud that causes all the yokai go giant size is made from negative emotions. I'm like, okay, so yokai are made from negative emotions. Okay. Eventually, she's defeated by the very next episode, and then like, okay, the big boss is left. I mean, him and the Flower Ninja are left, and the Darus, they're left too, though they're eliminated pretty quickly here. And also, like after she's eliminated, it's like, okay, Damaru's next, and then we have the next episode start with him crashing his skull castle, trying to kill the Kakurangers, and like, hey, attack me! And then the God General shows up with Ninja Man. It's like, no, don't attack him. Because we know his secret. What is Damaru's secret? What the heck is he? He is the embodiment of hatred. And if the Kakuranger destroy him, all those yokai that were destroyed over the course of this entire series will be revived immediately. So, what's the best course of action? We have to seal him! And like, oh, we don't know who the sealed door is, even though you were there back in the pilot episode. What? I'll talk more about this. So, and of course, they're temporarily their transformation is disabled to find out where the seal is, and the seal is in their heart. Yep. So they summon the sealed door. First time it's been seen since episode, I kid you not, this is the first time the sealed door has been seen since 31. And then, of course, they struggle trying to put him inside that door. And, of course, the cat ninjas are basically turned back into cats and never seen again in the franchise. And the Mario is basically put in the door, and then in order to seal the door, they have to use their own morphers to seal the door. And also, in case of basically the father, he's pretty much his whole condition is cured by the next episode, where the two dogs, Taro and Jero, who actually were raised as as basically her older brothers, sacrifice themselves in order to revive her father, turn back into human, and basically becomes her ally for the last episode. Does he fight? Nope. This awesome ninja, I'm sure he probably has awesome skills, and he does nothing. He is seen basically like, oh, can't fight him, and of course they try to confront him. Of course, remember, goes through with giants. Also, the cloud that makes the giant size the whole thing of the yokai, that's immediately eliminated with episode 52. Because the whole negative emotions is cured. Like, okay. And so then they seal him after they seal him behind the door. And like, okay, the Kakuranger disbanded. Not really, per se. So the Summer's father goes back to is the white ninja outfit he wore back in the flashback when he was when his early flashback when he broke into there was well basically the yokai mansion. Yeah, and by the way, Bon, the little boy, yeah, he's actually yokai. Yep, he is in fact a yokai. They say that he was a yokai who was abused by other yokai, so basically, the Sentai basically took him in, kind of adopted him as his own son. So basically, there's somebody his little brother now. So with the yokai sealed up, and we actually see a montage of all the yokai except for like one or two of them in this world. They've all been sealed in there after they've been destroyed, and the man was not seen in there, despite the fact he was behind the door. He's like, let me out, let me out. I need at least my hatred so I can basically revive all my dead minions. Yep. And that's why I said, oh yeah, we're going to resurrect and we're going to do it in the future. And nope. From what I read, they're still there. They've still been sealed. And apparently, not only the yokai be revived, but the whole world will go to massive hatred hysteria and destroy the world. So, with their mission complete, they defeat the yokai. So, like, nope, they're not disbanding. They take the food truck, and of course, they go out and travel the country, expand positively. And what happens, Ninja Man and the God Generals, aka the freaking Megazords? They go to another place. I'm like, really? Ninja Man, the guy who's popular with kids, he's taking up their place. And by the way, if you're curious though, yes, the Kakurangers do show up in that crossover. You know, the one where they team up with, of all people, the O Ranger, which by the way, they show up in the last 15 minutes of the movie. I'm not kidding about that. Now, some of you might be thinking, like, does Ninja Man pop up for this movie? Okay, the answer to that question is no. No, he's not. He's not in the movie. I'm like, really? Yeah, Ninja Man, a really cool character, is not seen in the movie. Yes, he is for some reason absent. Basically, after the final episode, he is never seen again until we'll talk about basically his next appearance in Kakuranger. But yeah, he disappears for years. You would think a cool character like him, and his next appearance is in Kakuranger. And you're thinking, really? Yes, really. His next appearance is in Kakuranger, and then after that, he's not seen again after the Kakuranger episode. Like apparently, he makes appearance in the 4 continuous weekly specials Super Sentai Song Battle. Yeah, he appears in one of those episodes, possibly. Yeah, it's like a side character. I'm like, really? Yeah, he appears in that one as well, the Curveball team. Yeah, this one I'll basically discuss in the future. Oh, don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so by the way, his next appearance, like the final episode aired in 1995 for this series. Yeah, February 4th, 1995. Yeah. Yeah, and in the case of his next physical appearance, it's not until 2012, which is, I kid you not, 17 years later. Yes. Which, that seems interesting. Yes, seriously. The fact that he just happens to appear here, which I'll discuss that. Don't worry about next episode. This one. But final thought. Now, what do you think of the finale? It felt a bit rushed. Yes, the finale was a bit rushed. It felt as though they just had to explain stuff that may or may not need to be explained. Like explain the way they go giant size. Which is weird. It's a cloud. And they say, oh, it's based on negative emotions. And the main villain is based on hatred. Now here's the thing. Believe it or not, he is the second ever main villain I have ever seen who was never destroyed in the final episode. The last time this was happened was in Zoo Ranger. Yes. Lokai was basically the mentor. It was basically kind of like a mentor to Witch Midora. She was the bad guy of the whole thing. Which, he's like the last one because all the rest of the yokai are all dead. Yep. And then somebody think, well, what about Kakuranger? No, basically only just like they lost like one major bad guy who popped up in the second half of the series. But the rest of them didn't get destroyed like they did in Power Rangers. That's indeed true. And similar to the case Master Vile, he technically wasn't on-screen destroyed per se. It was mentioned he may have been turned to dust, presumably, in Count of Destruction. But what do I think of the actual characters before I continue? Let's see. Demario as a villain, I thought he was interesting at best. I thought was kind of out of the blue, like, oh, he's the embodiment of hatred. Really? The embodiment of hatred. Him. A guy who wears the same outfit the whole time. Like, by the way, his coat he wears, he never takes it off. It's like the same exact outfit the whole time. It's like, yeah, he's got cool design. Nothing wrong with that. It's like, there's an ultra form for him. He doesn't do any fighting. Well, actually, for like one episode, he does. Which kind of contradicts something that happened in episode 44. Like, oh, the fact that if he's destroyed, like, oh, let's attack this one metal thing on his belly, and that apparently is the source of the clone. And here it's like, what? They only hate his belly? It felt as though, like, the writers who wrote these last two episodes clearly just did not care about the continuity of the series. They just had to wrap this up. Now, do I think because of low ratings that probably ended this 53? Possibly yes. But I'm sure the reason why it lasted 53 episodes because it was popular. Yes, I think that's the reason why that it lasted as long as it did. I think it had strong ratings of the whole series. I never, with the exception of one, I never found a lot of the episodes I found. Now, all the canon episodes I thought were really good. I think the best episodes were, like, the first few episodes were really good. The episode where they introduced Young Noble was really good. The 9-episode story arc they introduced the other two God Generals, which that was really cool. The fact that also that presumably that their main Megazord was destroyed by episode 27, and then he just comes back 10 episodes later without any explanation of how the heck he survived. Yeah, he just, oh, my Shogun, you're alive. How? He was destroyed. Well, yeah. Also, and by the way, these are the second time that we actually have a Megazord who talks. Yes. The last one did this was Daijujin. Yep. Yeah, that was the last one did it. And some of you might be asking, what was the last known Zord to talk? What after this? Well, what's next time we have this? Did we have this in No Ranger? Nope. Kakuranger. Mega Ranger. Giga Man. Well, they were animals. They didn't speak. Go-Go 5. Time Ranger. Gal Ranger. Okay. Bokenger. The next time we had Zords talk would not be until Goanger. Yep. That would be the next official time this happened. We had talking Zords. Which, smart idea. Don't have to have them all the time. Only 3 times ever since the history we had this app, which is interesting. Yes. Um, but final thoughts on the series as a whole, like I like the Kakuranger. I think they're really cool characters. The one character I kind of feel this though really didn't much anything, like Sosuke. I think he got developed a lot. Him and the White Ranger got developed a lot of the course of the series. Jiraiya got some development here and there. I'd say his biggest one came in that really good two-part that happened during the Hidden Ninja Scrolls arc, where he has to face off against his own mentor, which, yeah, the guy who played his mentor in that two-parter was the actor who played Jiraiya's real-life father, who was an 80s 80s action actor. Yes, which, not a bad idea. Get someone who's experienced to play the character. Yes. Thought his suit was a bit weird, but I love his fighting style. Yep. Though it's interesting, Jiraiya, he got involved in the course of the series too. But if you think about it, like, what two characters didn't get much development? The answer is simple: Yellow and Blue. These two, most of the time, didn't get a lot to do per se. They're basically act very, like, I think Yellow's like very manly, but in the case of Blue, I can't think of anything noteworthy he did over the course of the whole series. It's mostly just red, yellow, and black. These three got more development than the rest did. Ninja Man got a pretty good amount of development, despite the fact he didn't have many episodes. Which is interesting. He made his debut in 37. He appeared out of 53 episodes. He appeared in roughly about 18, which is really short. Yes, because usually a six-man shows up around the 20 episode mark. He waited to 37 to show up. He's more like an ally, not necessarily a sixth member of the team, because he didn't exactly have a proper morph. He just showed up. I like the character. It is a shame that basically that Power Rangers did an excellent job with him in Power Rangers. With making him Ninja, where he has connection to the actual Zords. Though in the case of that one, he created the Zords. And in this one, he was the mentor to the Zords, who actually were his mentors. Okay. Didn't have a problem with that at all. I get the reason why they said they stopped using the Mighty Shogun Zord for a while. But I read it was a bulky suit, and they found more agility with the Dai Shogun suit. Basically they found more durability with that one than we did with, well, Mighty Shogun. So it shows up. It's on screen for, like, I guess they wanted to extend the main thing that people love about Super Sentai, the robot versus monster fights. That they were just too quick. They were just there. Also, when they got Dai Shogun, they never. Here's the strange thing though: we never saw a thing transform at all afterwards. Right after, like right after they got Dai Shogun, they basically just shove the thing aside. It's like, yay, we get free of this hurdle. And this is strange though, the fact that Power Rangers, when they adapt this, they brought in Dai Shogun first as the Ninja Megazord, and then they brought in Mighty Shogun as the Mighty Shogun one, and they brought in the Beast Generals too. Yeah, all those were brought into Power Rangers, no problem. And here's the strange thing about it: those Zords were never destroyed, and also, they're basically the way that Saban did it. It seemed like they used CGI. Yes, seriously, CGI Zords. I thought this also was the first when they have a new Megazord. Well, it seems like anytime they get a second Megazord, they don't use a sword, because a lot of the time they do use swords. A lot of the main ones do, but not that Shogun. Nope, his signature move is to use his fist and he punches things really hard. Yeah, but definitely good Sentai to watch if you like ninja stuff. Though next time I watch will be ninja based. It will be Kakuranger. Yep, this is another Sentai I did start but never finished. Now, unlike in the case this one where I watched the first 10, the movie that the series had, Sentai World, and episode 14, and that's all I watched until I came back to it recently. This one, Kakuranger, I only watched the first 10 episodes, and I just stopped because basically I was at a thing where I was going to go 10 episodes back and forth, and I might get done that way, but that may be a bad idea for me. So, before I get to that one, I'm going to basically do a review for Metal Heroes, and I'll get started with Kakuranger, which I may or may not get time to watch tonight because I really want to watch the tribute. But next up is the Metal Heroes. Yep, first time in a while. Okay, next video. Bye.